Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the SKN Football Weekly podcast right here on the SKNFA's network, the social media network, Facebook and YouTube. I'm your host, Andre Huey. I'm riding solo this week. Last week we started the show, we had LaShawn Dixon, but he's under the weather this week, so he's unable to make it to the live broadcast this week. So wish him a quick recovery and a full recovery as soon as possible. But what we're going to do this week, since I don't have an analyst this week to talk about the upcoming games, I actually have a preview. So I'm going to share that preview later on in the show. It's going to be a bit of a shortened show this week because we're going to be recapping the games played last week, present you the highlights of those games, also take a quick look at Division 1 and the games that are coming up this weekend. And we also, like I said, give you a preview of the games coming up. Also this weekend, we're going to see the resumption of the Under-13 league games. I'm going to give you those games coming up. So the SKNFA Under-13 is coming back up. And today, we'll talk a little bit also about a very historic occasion happening in football in St. Kitts Nevis, where the Caribbean Football Union will be hosting its next-gen referee course right here in St. Kitts Nevis. It actually opens later this afternoon. So, of course, if you stay tuned to the SKNFA social media networks, you'll learn more about that as well. But we're going to start the show off by giving you the highlights of match week 6 in the 2025-2026 National Bank Group Premier League, National Bank Group SKNFA Premier League. So let's go to the match highlights from match week 6. Right after that, we're going to have the report that was done where we had some interviews with some of the coaches from last week's matches. And then we'll come back and take a preview of the games coming up this weekend. So here we go. Football Weekly right here on the SKNFA networks.
Receiving that ball in a short, shallow space, but it's bad. Looking to speed down the left side. Ball played across. Bartlett control. Bartlett fires a shot and puts it into the back of the net. A rocket of a shot there in the 18th minute. Bartlett making no mistake here on the second time. Getting that pass there. So looking for Tiwan. Tiwan lays it back for Dajal. Dajal fires a shot and puts it past Galway. That one sailing past Galway. Lovely shot there from Dajal Kelly, as that one had some movement on it.
Fire. Swinging in a good one, and Mills is on to it again. Zaki Smith. Oh no, this time it's stumped home. Touch home by Sylvester Keynes, and that's the opening goal coming in the 45th minute of play. And KO not able to survive the wave of attack. And Newtown now up 1-0. Newtown very direct, looking for that long ball. Hippolyte powering his way forward, getting past Williams. Does he have the touch to get past Smith? Yes. Goal number 2 is Hippolyte. Newtown 2-0. That direct long ball has worked. And Hippolyte, a man that I said you would want to keep your eyes on, he has opened up the K-on defense. Long ball over the top. Can he get a good delivery into the area? It's too close to the goalkeeper. No, it's a goal! My goodness, did he attempt to do that? Or was it a cross? Nonetheless, it's a good goal by Shine Prentice, who's just been introduced into the game. I thought he was going for a cross. But France want to swing this one in. It's going to go on the back post. David D. Oh no, it's going to be goal number 3. Yes, it is. Sylvester Keynes with his second. Keon unable to deal with it. The ball went onto the back post, headed a cross goal, and Keynes provided the finish. 3-1. Light continues to pour his way there. 2 players now on the back post. Somebody will get on to the end of it, and it's goal number 4. That's brilliant by Edward. 2 players I mentioned were on the back post. One being Edward, and Edward tapped it home. 4-1. They have broken open Keon's back door another time for the 4th goal.
Get away, Kalanji still with it. Looking to play that ball around for Nikwan and puts it into the back of the net. Lovely finish there by Hamilton. Hamilton getting the goal here, breaking the deadlock. Kalanji Clark getting Brown, putting through that one for Tikwani. Tikwani is looking into slot it across, and Boston getting the equalizer here. Tikwani getting some breathing space as he was fed, and he slides it across for Shavon Boston as Boston puts that one into the back of the net. Looking to put that one across, and it's blocked by Odell. Shot comes in. And again, and the whistle goes. And the Tikwani takes his time, steps up, and Tikwani puts it into the back of the net. Lovely penalty there as MFCR Old Road United Jet goes up 2-1 on the defending champions. Simmons now. Simmons looking to fire a shot, puts that one into the back of the net, and a lovely shot coming in here from Simmons, curling that one with the left foot and putting it into the back of the net. So it's one. And Taekwon getting a loose ball there and puts it into the back of the net. A free ball, and Taekwon look as if he's just on the training field as he gets that one from Maxine, looking to touch that one to Karim Simmons. Karim Simmons puts it into the back of the net. Lovely finish there by Simmons. Maxine putting through that one for Simmons. Simmons running through, looking for Coquelin Harris. Coquelin Harris looking to square that one across, and Caleb Bridgewater slots it into the back of the net easily in the 84th minute. St. Peter's 4, TGE Deep Bay Eagles 0.
Gets it on the inside. Philip. What a save! Rebound, and it's tucked away! Finally! Now I was just saying, Sandypur look like they're gonna survive, but not this time around. Goal! Connery scoring in the extra man. Oh, what a pass out to Wazim. Wazim is not going to look for goal, so he goes to Philip, and Philip just packs it in the back of the net. We know Wazim is not going to shoot, and Philip puts it in the back of the net to double the advantage for Connery. Philip goes out wide to Hodge. Mazzari sends that one across, and it comes straight to Ray! Mr. Clark is on the board, coming off the bench and seals the deal for Connery FC. Olo Lachlan comes across, put it on the plate again! Wow! Double the tally! That's Ray Clark! Straight from the gallows, straight from the wedding bells, and now scoring goals.
League leaders MSCR Old Road United Jets extended their advantage at the top of the table following match week 6 of the 2025-2026 National Bank Group SKNFA Premier League. Old Road edged defending champions SL Horses St. Paul's United 2-1 on Saturday, January 10th in the weekend's marquee matchup. St. Paul's struck first in the 8th minute through informed forward Declan Hamilton, continuing his strong start since joining the champions. However, Shaveen Boston brought Old Road level in the 37th minute. Drama followed late in the contest when St. Paul's conceded a penalty in the dying moments, allowing Tikwani Williams to convert from the spot and seal all 3 points for Old Road. Assistant coach of Old Road, Roger Hendricks, credited the victory to the team's consistent effort and commitment shown on the training ground.
Well, we just come on the training pitch and just come and execute the game plan.
When you were down, well, when you went down early 1-0, were you anyway concerned that the team would have?
No, we don't know concern. You know, we are winning the game today, so you just go and just tell them dig deep, don't give up.
St. Paul's United remain rooted to the bottom of the standings, still without a point this season. The defending champions continue to feel effects of pre-season sanctions that resulted in points deductions and player suspensions. While some players have begun returning to the lineup, the struggles persist. Assistant coach Jamal Jeffers acknowledged that significant work remains to get the team back into playoff contention.
I must commend the team. I must commend the 5 players who came back and start to inject some pace and energy into the team. Fortunately, we didn't come out with a win, but at the end of the day, you don't know, we got to just lift up our heads and move forward. I mean, as you say it's unprecedented, but at the end of the day, hey, 7 key players missing out from a team who's been going years after years. It's always going to give us like a soft tire, you understand? So definitely, we're in a situation where we never wanted that. Unfortunately, we had players who were out for a while. Happy that they're back one by one. So we just move forward. We're not in a good place right now. But what we can do, we just lift up our head and move forward.
In other results, Tropical Blossom Hot Spring Bath United and Ramsville Superstars played to a 1-1 draw. Bath opened the scoring in the 18th minute with a well-taken strike from Omarion Bartlett, but Village responded in the second half as Dajal Kelly produced a stunning effort in the 51st minute to secure a share of the points. Later on Sunday, Honda Newtown United continued their strong early season form with a dominant 4-1 victory over Azul Keon Rockets. Sylvester Keynes maintained his in first half stoppage time and again in the 68th minute. Marcus and Hippolyte added another in the 57th minute, while Shaheem Prentice scored the lone goal for Keon in the 64th minute. Sunday's action saw Development Bank St. Peters cruise to a comfortable 4-0 win over TGE Debe Eagles. Kareem Simmons scored twice in the 9th and 43rd minutes, with Taekwon Terrell finding the net early in the 11th minute and Caleb Bridgewater adding the final goal in the 84th minute. The final match of the week produced a similar scoreline. Saul Island Auto Supply's Connery FC brushed aside St. Kitts Concrete Masters Sandy Point FC 4-0. Dejani Fai opened the scoring just before half-time. Byron Phillip added a second in the 54th minute, and substitute Ray Clark sealed the win with a late brace in the 80th and 82nd minutes. Match week 7 of the National Bank Group SKNFA Premier League kicks off this Saturday. All right, so there you heard it there. Match week 7 will begin this weekend. That's actually tomorrow, the 17th of January, 2026. Match week 7 promised to be exciting. So we're going to give you the preview of those matches coming up. I'm going to give a quick run through of the games because there are really some exciting games coming up. And so without any further delay, I'm going to give you the preview of that. Also later on in the show, as I said, we're going to be talking a bit about the CFU referees training that's going to be hosted right here in St. Kitts Nevis. Actually, will be starting today. The opening ceremony will be today at the Royal St. Kitts Resort. And the SKNFA, of course, will be providing you updates on that. And we're also expecting the Under 13 League to start also this weekend. So a lot of football action, a lot of football on the field and off the field happening this weekend in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we're going to be giving that to you right here on St. Kitts Nevis Football Weekly. All right, so let's go into the preview of the games coming up. We have 5 exciting matches coming up this weekend in the National Bank Group SKNFA Premier League, where teams are jostling for points. There are teams that are not getting on the points board. There are teams that are performing not as good as they would have hoped. And so they want to make sure that this weekend they can make up some ground. And so it's some exciting times ahead in the Premier League. So let's go to the Premier League preview, and then we'll come right back and look at the other football that's happening. We're going to be reviewing Division 1, looking at some of the games coming up in Division 1, and talk also about the SKNFA Under 13. So here we go with the preview of the games in the Premier League this weekend. Match week 7 of the 2025-2026 National Bank Group SKNFA Premier League kicks off on Saturday, January 17th, with several big encounters set for the National Bank Group Technical Center. Fans can expect an exciting weekend of football as teams battle for crucial points. The action on Saturday begins at 4 p.m. when St. Kitts Concrete Masters Sandy Point FC take on Azul Keon Rockets. Both teams are eager to get their campaigns back on track. Sandy Point are still searching for their first win of the season, having just collected 2 points from 6 matches. Azul Keon Rockets, meanwhile, will be looking to bounce back after last week's loss to Honda Newtown United as they aim to climb back up the table. This matchup promises to be an intriguing contest. At 6 p.m., Development Bank St. Peters FC go head-to-head with Honda Newtown United. St. Peters are enjoying a strong run of form coming into the match with back-to-back victories, including an emphatic 4-0 demolition of Deer Bay last week. They will be keen to consolidate their position in the top 4 with another win against a playoff contender. Honda Newtown United are also in fine form, highlighted by last week's impressive 3-1 victory over Keon. With Sylvester Keynes and Marcus and Hippolyte in excellent goal-scoring form, Newtown United are shaping up as a serious force this season. The Saturday night feature at 8 p.m. sees Ramsville Superstars take on Saul Island Auto Supply's Connery FC. Connery currently sits second in the standings, following a commanding 4-0 win over Sandy Point on Sunday. Village Superstars, however, will be looking to reclaim second place after an unexpected draw against Bath United last week. The league action continues on Sunday as TGE Debe Eagles face defending champions SL Horses St. Paul's United. St. Paul's are desperate to get their season back on track after suffering consecutive defeats to Village Superstars and league leaders Old Road United Jets. With several players returning from suspension, St. Paul's will be hoping this match marks the start of a turnaround. D8 Bay, however, are also under pressure, sitting just 1 point above St. Paul's and hovering near the relegation zone. Sunday's marquee matchup features Tropical Blossom Hot Spring Bath United versus league leaders MSCR Old Road United Jets. Old Road United will be aiming to extend their unbeaten run and increase their lead at the top of the table. Bath United, buoyed by last week's draw, will be looking to make a statement against the league's front runners. Fans are encouraged to come out and support their teams at the National Bank Group Technical Center this weekend, or tune in live on FIFA Plus. So there you have it there, the results of, or the preview of the games coming up in this weekend's SKNFA National Bank Group Technical, SKNFA National Bank Premier League. That's match week 7. And the games are, like I said, they're quite exciting. 5 really good games to look forward to, starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the National Bank Group Technical Center. Fans are encouraged to come out in your numbers and support your team. And if you're not unable to make it, and especially if you're overseas, you want to keep a track of what's happening in football, tune in to FIFA Plus. The games will be live there. All right, so we've looked at Premier League. We've looked at the games coming up. We've looked at the games that played in match week 6. And we're going to take a look at the table in a bit. But let's also shift attentions quickly to the games coming up in the Division 1. Division 1 games actually started, match week 6 started yesterday. And so let's give you some of the results so far. So we had 2 games played yesterday. That would be Manta versus Lodge Patriots. Lodge Patriots winning that 5-2. Welcome win for Lodge Patriots because they have been having some negative results just before the holiday break. So to get that win yesterday, that huge win yesterday, was a big follow-up from last week. They won last week as well. So they're getting themselves back on track. Conwy Fireball International, however, did not get a good result against Saddlers United. Saddlers defeating them 2-0. Those 2 matches were played in Saddlers. Now we have 2 games down for tonight. Those games will be played at the Gardens playing field in the Gardens. We have Security Forces, Elko Limited Security Forces United taking on KFC Trinity Challengers United. That's at 6 p.m. at the Gardens, followed by at 8 p.m. the same venue at the Gardens, Garden Hotspurs, Skellig Garden Hotspurs, the league leaders in Division 1 so far. They will be playing Rivers of Living Water FC. That's at 8 p.m. And the final match in match week 6 will be played on Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Gardens. It's CIBC Village Galaxy playing Molyneux, Trevor Freights and Associates, Molyneux Pitbulls FC. That game at 4 p.m. at the Gardens. So some good games coming up in SKNFA Division 1. We're going to look back at Division 1, match week 5. We're going to be playing a report from that in a bit. And then when we come back, we'll look at the league table for the Premier League, as well as the games coming up in the SKNFA Under 13 this weekend. And lastly, on our agenda, we'll talk about the CFU referees training, the next gen referees training happening right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So let's go at, we're going to look at the Division 1. Of course, we know some games played on the weekend last week to signal the restart of the Division 1 season. Both Division 1 and Premier League, as well as the Under 13, took a break over the holiday period, and they came back in strong fashion last weekend. So here we go. Division 1, we did some coverage of the games over in Saddlers last weekend. All the games were played in Saddlers, and we saw Spurs regaining the top spot in the league. The SKNFA Division 1 League is back in full swing after the holiday break, and we've got a new team sitting at the top of the table. Skellig Garden Hotspurs have surged into first place after a solid 2-0 victory over Conwy Fireball International on January 8th in Saddlers. Spurs got the breakthrough in the 34th minute through Xavier Williams before Jamari James sealed the deal in the 50th minute. Now turning to action on Sunday, January 11th, also in Saddlers, it was a goal fest as CIBC Village Galaxy absolutely dismantled Mantab by a score of 8-1. Shibar Jeffers was the star of the show, bagging 4 goals in the 4th, 43rd, 47th and 43rd minutes. Davin Kelly added a hat-trick, while Kadeem Rogers also got on the score sheet. Mantab's misery was compounded by an own goal from Jaquan Liebert. Kari Jarvis grabbed the lone consolation goal for Mantab. After the match, Village Galaxy manager Ashton Davis said the win was a good result for his team.
Well, it's definitely a step up from, the beginning of the season last year and so forth. A lot of improvements have been had throughout the time. Still some improvements to go, as there are always things that you look forward to, doing better, etc. as a team, as individuals, as a collective, and so forth. But I'm really proud of the team and I am pleased with the performance today.
How do you pick up on this and to keep this momentum going? Because, like I said, you had a mixed start to the season.
Well, it's to discuss, not just as management, but with the players and so forth. Look back at the game, see where we would have heard, see where the players could have, picked up, done better in different, plays, etc. and so forth. And just work from there.
Meanwhile, Mantab goal scorer Kari Jarvis shared his thoughts on the match, saying he was still pleased to get on the score sheet despite the heavy loss.
It's always good to score, and scoring is what can help win games. Yeah.
Was there a great performance of the team today? I mean, how do you guys pick up from this?
Well, training is important. We're in train for the week. We start a few man short, so we had a hard task, but we try all in all, so you just got to go back to your drawing board and come again.
Elsewhere in Division 1 action on Thursday, MBT Fast Cash Saddlers and KFC Trinity Challengers United played to a 1-1 draw. Jelani Willett put Challengers ahead in the 53rd minute before Daquan Watley leveled things up for Saddlers in the 69th minute. Also on Thursday, Trevor Freights and Associates Molyneux Pitbulls crushed Rivers of Living Water FC 8-0. Goals scored by Molyneux by Quiniki Clark, Cater Jones scoring a hat-trick, Kemaral Watley, Rios Tyson, and Ranil Williams. Rivers also scored an own goal in the 19th minute, coming from the boots of Triscan Hensley. Then on Friday, January 9th, it was another emphatic performance as 607 Construction Lodge Patriots hammered Elko Limited Security Forces United 8-1. Chavez Jarvis led the charge with a hat-trick in the 3rd, 37th, and 41st minutes, the last one coming from the penalty spot. Joshua Liebert scored early in the 7th, Javern Matthew added his own hat-trick, and Shamari Liebert closed the scoring late in the 88th. Javal O'Loughlin found the net for Security Forces in the 58th minute. Eskinaway Division 1 continues on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. All right, so there you have it there, the match week 5 of the Eskinaway Division 1 happening last weekend. And again, we give you the results from last night's game, the start of match week 6. Lodge Patriots winning 5-2, and they defeated, let me just get those results for you. So they won last night in Saddlers, winning 5-2, and then we have a 2-0 victory for 2-0 victory for Saddlers United over Connery Fireball. So them getting those two teams getting wins on the board, putting themselves in a good position to climb up the table. All right, so we're going to look now at Under 13. SKNFA Under 13 resumes this weekend after a break. Round 2 actually begins this weekend in the SKNFA Under 13. Let's take a look at the matches coming up. At 10 a.m., we'll have the first match at 10. It's Security Forces United, the league leaders in the Under 13 league, the SKCU Security Forces United. They'll be playing Dream Chasers Saddlers United in Boyds. At 10, also, simultaneously in St. Peter's, we have St. Peter's FC playing Connery Fireballs International. That's Development Bank St. Peter's playing the Connery Fireballs International. Both matches at 10 o'clock. Then we have 2 games also playing at 12 noon. Dollar Car Rental Newtown United. They will play KFC Trinity Challengers United in Boyds. And in St. Peter's, sorry, that's not St. Peter's, in Molyneux at 10 o'clock. So we have 3 games playing at 10 o'clock simultaneously. St. Peter's, SL Horses St. Paul's United taking on St. Kitts Concrete Masters Sandy Point in Molyneux. So again, at 10 o'clock, we have Security Forces United versus Dream Chasers Saddlers in Boyds. Also at 10, Development Bank St. Peter's playing Connery Fireballs International in St. Peter's. And in Molyneux, SL Horses St. Paul's United playing St. Kitts Concrete Masters Sandy Point FC. And at 12 noon, it will be Dollar Car Rental Newtown United versus KSC Trinity Challengers United in Boyd. So Under 13 football is back. Oh, we do have 2 other games. So let me go to those 2 games. Also at 12 noon, Molyneux Pitbulls take on Village Superstars in Molyneux. That's at 12 o'clock. And at 10, Keon Rockets versus Hot Spring Bath United in Bath. Now, those games, the schedule of those games will be published later on the SKNFA social media networks, Facebook and Instagram, as well as the WhatsApp channel. And by the way, if you're not following the WhatsApp channel, just look for SKNFA in the WhatsApp channel and you'll get all the updates that you get on social media. Those updates will be available as well. Now, finally, on the show this week, as I told you, we have a shortened show because my analyst is sick this week, and so it was unavailable. But we're going to look quickly at the big announcement that we'll be having the CFU Next Gen Referees Training Course hosted right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Last year it would have held in another Caribbean country. This year it is being held here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and that's a big thing for us to have this opportunity. Now, I'll give you some information from a press release from the about the Next Gen training. This is from the Caribbean Football Union, and they are the ones organizing this training. So later this afternoon, 2 p.m. will be official opening ceremony at the St. Kitts, Royal St. Kitts Resort. So CFU launches 5th edition of the CFU Next Generation Referees course. It says here, 24 match officials representing 15 member associations will sharpen their skills during the 2026 edition of the CFU Next Generation Referee course to be held in St. Kitts from January 16th to the 18th. So this entire weekend, we'll have the Next Gen course taking place. The intensive 3-day program focuses on technical proficiency, physical fitness, and personal development. Delivery will be led by FIFA fitness refereeing instructor and CFU referees committee members Kalisha Antoine, FIFA technical instructor Diane Ferreira James, CONCACAF technical instructor Aishan Phillip, and CONCACAF fitness instructor Rohan Thoborn. Dave Meikle, the CFU committee member, serves as course administrator. Following in-person introductory module, training transitions into an online format with instruction designing a bespoke training and mentorship program for participants. Those who demonstrate excellence will earn appointments to CFU C14 or CFU Under 14 Challenge Series, at which point in-person training resumes. So the referees training taking place right here in St. Kitts and Nevis will be happening today, starting today and running for the entire weekend. And so we say congratulations to those who will be participating and all the best, that they will do well in this referees training that's coming up this weekend. So it opens officially at around 2 p.m. at the Royal St. Kitts Resort Hotel and runs from January 16th to the 18th. And a number of regional officials will be on hand to offer the training. Now, we do have a quote here from the head of refereeing at the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, Graeme Brown. He welcomed the opportunity to contribute to regional refereeing development. He said, quote, during our most recent referee recruitment drive, we branded the initiative Finding the Next Generation of Soccer Referees. What began as a local effort has evolved into a regional partnership as the SKNFA and its refereeing department proudly joined the CFU in developing the next generation of referees. On behalf of the SKNFA and in my capacity as head of refereeing, I'm delighted to welcome our young male and female referees to St. Kitts and Nevis for the 2026 CFU Next Gen Referee course. This program represents the future of officiating not only for your respective countries, but for CFU as a whole. End quote. That's from Graeme Brown, the head of refereeing at the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association. So again, we say congrats to this great opportunity for St. Kitts and Nevis having the opportunity to host this referee training organized by the Caribbean Football Union. So that more or less takes us out of the program for today, the podcast for today. We're going to take a quick look at the points table in the Premier League, after which we'll wrap up the show. And then, of course, we'll just recap quickly the games that are coming up, which we gave you the preview earlier of the games coming up. But let's take a quick look at the points standings. At the top of the table, we have Old Road United Jets. They're at the top of the table with 18 points. Connery FC in second with 11 points. And this is quite unique because they are ahead. They're tied on points with Village, that's in third. They have the same goal difference, +7, but Connery scored just 3 goals more, which is why Connery is just edging it at the moment in number 2. Number 3 is Village Superstars with 11 points. Number 4, St. Peter's FC, also on 11 points. So 3 teams tied on 11 points. Connery, Village, and St. Peter's in that order. St. Peter's having a low goal difference of +1, but they're right there at number 4. In 5th position, Newtown United on 10 points. In 6th, Keon FC with 9 points. 7th is Bath United on 3 points. Sandy Point FC on 8th with 2 points. Dieppe Bay Eagles and St. Paul's United round out the bottom two. Dieppe Bay on 1 point. St. Paul's still to register a point. And of course, you will know that St. Paul's was one of the 2 teams would have suffered point deductions due to disciplinary sanctions that were issued out at the start of the season. So Old Road still at the top of the table, yet to lose a match. The only team that have not yet lost a match this season. They have a plus 18 goal difference. They've scored 22 goals, only conceded 5. A remarkable record from Old Road United, MFCR Old Road United Jets. And we'll see if they can keep that up this weekend. They have a good game coming up, the last match of the week of the weekend of match week 7. So again, we want to thank you all for watching the SKN Football Weekly podcast. We'll be back next week at 11 a.m. right here in the SKNFA Networks for another edition. And hopefully this time I'll be joined by other analysts, my analyst LaShawn Dixon, and possibly others as well, joining us to analyze the games coming up in the SKNFA National Bank Group Premier League. Thanks again, all of us, for watching, and do stay tuned and go out and support your teams this weekend, whether it be Division 1 or the Premier League or the Under 13. Now, I've been being quite impressed with the support of the Under 13. We've seen a lot of parents and people in the community coming out and supporting the future stars of football in St. Kitts and Nevis. So go out and support your teams. The Under 13 League resumes this weekend. Premier League is on, Division 1 is on, a lot of football to play. So please come out and support your teams. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned to the SKNFA Networks for more updates on football here in St. Kitts and Nevis.